35192. Want to send a text? You can watch if you like at AlanCoxShow.com. Who's helping out today? Baz Ravish. Is it Baz or Baz?
Baz Ravish.
Baz Ravish. I like that. We'll get to some hot celebrity goss shortly with Perez Bilton. Do that a little closer to 4:30.
I'm excited for today's.
Oh, yeah? You mean you're not excited for all of them?
I'm always excited, but this one's got a little extra oomph in it that I think everybody's going to like.
Oh, good.
Well, not everybody, because
I do like
always
extra
hate
oomph.
things. There's people that will just never like things. But the people that enjoy Perez Bilton will like it even more today, I think.
What about people who might be on the fence about Perez Bilton, but in general like oomph?
I think that this is going to be the oomph they need to
Extra
enjoy.
tang?
Yeah.
All right, good. Well, I can certainly appreciate oomph and tang
Oomph and
in
tang.
whatever form it comes. Cavs over the Wizards last night in D.C. It was a big one, 114-91. Your Cavaliers are at 34-22. You're looking good, fourth in the East. Very impressive. Behind only Milwaukee, Philly, and Boston.
Was that a sneeze or a cough?
It was like a weird,
It was a
inhale.
snuff.
Yeah.
Schnoff.
Tomorrow night, the Cavs come home to play the Pistons of Detroit. 7 o'clock is the tip-off at the Romo Fijo. So 6:30, after we roll out, is when Cavs Live will begin. And all month long, it's a short one, but all month long, you can use the promo code HEARTTHROB and get 20% off at CLE Clothing Company. I think they're going to have a new St. Paddy's Day shirt that's going to drop soon, too. So be on the lookout for that. But there's always some great Buzzard merch. Just fantastic stuff in every direction. So just remember to use Heartthrob.
I'm rocking that CLE clothing hoodie right now. It says, "It will always be the Jake." And it's a picture of the baseball field.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, Progressive
The
Field.
Progressive Jake.
Progressive
I remember
Field.
that, yeah.
The Jake.
Mm-hmm.
For those of you who can't let go of the past, it'll always be the Jake.
Well, but it's nice that there's something to commemorate that.
Yeah, I
Nothing wrong
enjoy
with
it.
that. Yeah.
Mhm. Obviously, I own the hoodie, you know.
That's right. It is Black History Month, and one company, we're only mere days, 1 week into Black History Month, and one company has already stepped in it. Aramark is a company that provides catering services for all manner of venues, schools, sports arenas, right? Aramark is already apologizing for serving the first day of Black History. Did you see this, Cody? Students in New York for the first day of Black History Month were served chicken, waffles, and watermelon. And they issued an apology and acknowledged that the lunch's timing was inappropriate, which makes me wonder when the appropriate timing for chicken, waffles, and now, don't misunderstand me. All three of those things are delicious. They're delicious separately. They're delicious together. But it upset some students. It upset some parents. They were asking people if they want watermelon, and I remember being confused because it's not in season, said one student. She said the whole thing made her feel bad. And I was talking to a friend of mine at home who is black, and he had no issue with it. And I had to kind of take I defer to his judgment. I mean, he's like, I would have loved it. It's better than what we usually got in school. He's like, why is this different than tacos on Mexican Heritage Day or noodles on Asian Heritage Day? And
because it's not.
It's stereotypical.
It's stereotypical because Mexico and Mexicans can relate that back to their heritage. Italians can relate their food back to their heritage.
Right.
Black people, we don't know over there in Africa in what specific country we came from, what they eat. We don't have a little Africa here. We have like Jamaica.
Right.
We have little Haiti, stuff like that. But they immediately go to the chicken and waffles and the watermelon because that's stereotypical of what you guys like that, right? Because you guys were over here. That's just what you guys
Well,
ate.
yeah, soul food has become what you most associate with black people.
Yeah, but that's not
soul food, though. I mean,
food.
Right.
Watermelon was like a Reconstruction era thing where it was. I mean, that was my point. I kind of pushed back a little with him. I'm like, look, I'll I'm not speaking for you, but I'm like, I get what you're saying that, that's delicious and it's better than the slop you usually get in school. But none of those foods are like heritage foods. They're stereotype foods.
Like if it was, so he means to tell me if it was chicken with like a little packet of hot sauce next to it with Kool-Aid, and what was it?
He would have ate that up too.
Like hot
Like that's
fries,
all
something like
delicious. That's all delicious.
that.
I said, well, we went to different schools.
I was like, I felt not saying it wouldn't be delicious,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I would feel a ways like grape soda or something like that.
I just don't know how this stuff still happens. How does it happen? This isn't some weird little quirky detail that you'd have to go 50 pages in a Google search on. How does a company in New York go, here's the school menu for the first day of Black History Month, chicken waffles and watermelon? I don't even know how that happens. No one in the chain of command was like, guys.
Unless it doesn't go up the chain of command. Unless this is one person's job.
Or it was a bunch of white people that thought it was.
But it
okay and
always
funny.
goes. But it's never just one person.
But
unless
it could be.
Unless it's the head of the company. It's never just one person.
It could just be this singular person is in charge of the menu. How many times do you have to double check a menu before someone puts it out?
But then you disseminate that menu to the schools who have to cook it, and they go, what the hell is this? I don't know. I'm just always fascinated when stuff like this gets as far as it does, where nobody in the chain of command, whether it's one person or 100 people, nobody goes, hey. Aramark said it was not meant to be a cultural meal. They said their timing was bad, that they were just, it happened to happen in Black History Month.
Whatever. I'm just gonna.
That it was a
Yeah.
mistake that was the menu on February the 1st. So let's say that that's true. That means that not one person in their organization was like, hey guys, because Poundcake's talked about this at length, and he's right, about whether it's Pride Month, whether it's Black History Month, everybody wants to get in on it. Everybody's got rainbow logos for June, and then the other 11 months, they don't give a fat frog's ass about Pride Month. So same thing with Black History Month. No matter how they got to shoehorn it in, everybody wants to get in on Black History Month. That means that not one, let's take them at their word and say it was a mistake. Not one person said, guys, February is Black History Month. It's on people's calendars. Like if you're not tuned into it, I completely understand why it might get past you. But if your job or if you work for a company that sends menus out to schools.
I mean, how do you not know it's Black History Month? Every year, someone will post the video that lets you know where it's some like white girl trying to take a selfie and a black dude riding by on a bike and goes, "Get out of the way, bitch, it's Black History Month."
And that's how you learn.
That's how I know.
Yes.
Once I see that, I'm like, there's like, in May, it's going to be May.
It's the Justin Timberlake.
Bieber, Justin Timberlake thing. In February, it's the dude yelling at the girl saying, "Get out of the way, bitch, it's Black History Month."
Now, I haven't seen that,
I haven't
but
either.
it sounds hilarious.
It's very funny.
Yeah. So anyway, that was how the New York school system there celebrated the very first day of Black History Month. New York University in 2019 cut ties with Aramark after it served ribs, greens, and Kool-Aid during Black History Month. To Poundcake's point.
Yeah, well, it's ran by a bunch of white people. What do you expect?
I don't know that.
It is.
Right, but there are, well, you don't know that either. What I'm saying is nobody's going to tell me there isn't one person of color in the Aramark
Even if
organization.
there
What I'm
is-
saying is it can even get past somebody like that, where it's just not on their radar. But the company can't go, Mike, why didn't you tell us this?
No, because he's probably...
Mike's black. Mike, you're in marketing. Why didn't you tell us this?
Never mind. I'm not going to say what I was going to say, but it...
Tell me.
No, I'm just saying, even if they did have the one black person there, they wouldn't listen to him anyways, because he's there because he's black. Like, they don't want... I don't know.
Are you saying that every black person high up in an organization is a token hire?
No, but if you're surrounded by a bunch of white people...
You said the only reason he's there is because he's black.
If that person is there...
What person?
If they have one black person in the organization and they're like, oh, well, we're just coming to you for all our black issues, I would feel like I was only there because I'm black.
Well, yes, if they only came to that person
Well,
for
that's
that.
what I'm saying.
But I mean,
you can't just pawn off responsibility every Black History Month when you do something foul and you're like, you go to the one black person that you hired, like, oh, is this a little insensitive? What do you think, Mark?
yes, why wouldn't you avail yourself of people who have different perspectives on things? That's what an organization is supposed to be.
But no, you don't get the one person. You get a PR team. You hire a PR that is very diverse.
Ideally, yes.
Not
what
ideally.
I'm saying,
This is $1 billion company.
well, that's what I'm saying. Is that when you said it's all white people, that's my point. It's not all white people.
But I'm saying, if you're gonna do something like this, if you want to celebrate Pride Month and not offend people in Pride, what do? You get people who are in Pride. You become diverse. You hire people from an agency that will make sure you don't slip up. If you want to get in on the Black History Month and not offend black people, what do? You hire black people who can help you out, make sure you don't step in it.
Or just anyone who can read a calendar. I mean, you're right. You don't have to put it at black people's feet, but at the same time, just read a calendar.
But when this stuff happens, the optics don't look good.
Well, that's redundant. The Children's Museum of Indianapolis last June served a Juneteenth watermelon salad on their menu through the Aramark company. So maybe, is there a chance that Aramark is doing it on purpose? Because they're like, hey, we got a lot of competition out there. How many other companies that do what we do can you name? People go, I don't know. Just us. Nailed it. Anybody see Roy Wood on The Daily Show?
I mean, pretty regularly. Yeah.
They've had, you see him last night?
No, I didn't see you last night.
They've had, since Trevor Noah left, they've had rotating guests. They had Leslie Jones. They had...
D.L. Hughley?
Yeah, D.L. Hughley. They had Wanda Sykes. And it's no secret that Roy Wood would and, you know, his pal of ours, we would like it, and he would like very much to be the host of The Daily Show. They were talking about what DeSantis is doing down there in Florida with Disney and trying to recreate Orwell's 1984 with libraries, and he's really creating a little fascism laboratory down there in Florida. And they were talking about what they're doing over at Disney.
Disney is trying to remove racism from its parks.
With all due respect, Wanda, I disagree. I don't think we should be removing the racism from the rides. In fact, we should be adding racism.
Why in the hell would we want to add racism into Disney World?
Because Disney World might be the only place left in Florida where kids can learn about racism. It's the last place. You see what DeSantis is doing down here?
I see what you're saying. The kids come in for the fun, and then we sneak into education.
Exactly. That's what we do. Sneak it in. Like, you know those bumper cars they got in Tomorrowland? Tomorrowland got them bumper cars, right? Add some cops in there pulling black people over to teach the kids about traffic stops.
Oh, boy. Roy Wood.
He's so funny.
Oh, he's the best. Yeah, why not? That video where the guy's screaming at the girl?
Yeah, but I just listened to it and
I can't air it, probably.
He drops an F-bomb.
Oh, okay.
So.
Well, I'll watch it in the break.
Yeah.
I'll enjoy it at a future date. That would be fun, too. Yeah, I don't know I think for the entire year for people who, and again, The Daily Show is not a highly watched program. That said, they could use a shot in the arm. That's why they were like, well, we don't have an heir apparent here, so let's just get high-profile people to sit in that chair for the next year, by the way.
Yeah. And they'll get lots of great clips out of it
Yes.
for social media because that's basically what the Daily Show is now. It's just a show where they're going to cut it up and put it on social
All the
media.
late night shows.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that.
Daily Show guest hosts. Chelsea Handler, she did it. Sarah
She already did it?
Yes.
Wow.
Well, she's doing it right now.
Okay.
Or she's going to do it in a couple days or something. Sarah Silverman is going to do it next week. And they've got Al Franken coming up.
Scheduling.
Cal Penn, Marlon Wayans, John Leguizamo. I think they should do Craig Kilborn.
Bring him
Bring
back.
Kilby back. Yeah,
Yeah.
why not? Have him sit in there.
That'd be fun. What's he been up to?
Not much. He's kicking around, doing a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Before we leave Florida, by the way, from
Florida sucks.
you might recall a place called The Villages. Remember reading news intermittently about the place called The Villages? It's a senior retirement community in Florida. And every time it was in the news, it's because they would always find voter fraud there. They would always find these old, crusty, right-wing right people trying to vote 2 and 3 times there in Florida. They're super, super concerned about voter fraud, something that statistically is non-existent. But every time it pops up, it's a bunch of old right-wing nut jobs, and a lot of them live at the Villages. They were the ones that were ramming into each other in the golf carts and the Trump flags, and like there was somebody that lived in their community that had like a gay son or something, so they had a rainbow bumper sticker, and they were driving around screaming at him and whatever. Well, the people in the Villages, supposedly, are putting different colored loofahs on the antennas of their cars to signify how they swing.
Oh.
There you go.
So, back in the day, it was the upside down pineapple, right?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody had
That's still going on, right?
So that's how they do it out in Stark County. But the old people at the Villages down there in Florida are supposedly putting these loofahs up to let the other villagers know which way they go. So like a purple loofah means you like to watch. A teal loofah means you're doing what you go both ways. Who cares? There's an 80-year-old woman in there, right? Let's say she's got a teal loofah up there.
Ooh.
And she's an 80-year-old. This to me goes back to like the whole nonsense about like when parents are worried about lipstick parties.
Right.
I think this is probably
Never been real, I feel like.
equal. No, of course not. It's like equally made up. There are the Villages, but people have noticed, why else would you have a loofah on your car? If you saw one person, you could make the case, oh, that's Frank. He likes to wash his car with a loofah, even though it would be terrible for your paint. But he likes to do it. So if you have a white loofah, it means that you're a beginner. You're a novice. You want to ease your way in, so to speak. Purple means you like to watch. Pink is a soft swap.
Hey.
People who like to do it with others in the room.
What's a soft swap?
People who like to do it with others in the room.
Okay. But what makes that soft?
I don't know. I'm reading you what this says.
That
I
you're
don't-
probably having sex with your partner next
Well,
to
there-
someone
yeah.
else is having sex with their
Oh.
partner.
She's like, oh, I'm going to push you over
So you-
softly.
Might get a little touch in.
Yeah, it might get a
or
little touch in you,
little
but you
kiss or
can see
something.
what's going on there. You're like, oh, okay, that's
Yeah.
kind of
Okay.
soft swap.
You're not like fully swapping.
Gotcha.
Blue is the lowest level of full swap. Those who can play well with others. See, if this were true, somebody would have to figure all this out. You'd have to have a conference
Well,
of
this is.
swingers and go, well, this is this and this is
I think
this
this has actually been figured out.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
This is the standard
I-
color coding?
I think so.
And they just applied it to swingers here.
Well, they're just using the knowledge that's out there.
This is the standard swinger color guide is what you're saying.
I'm guessing
They
you
just-
could Google this and this would show up.
Oh, all right.
I
well.
performed. Well, I didn't even perform there. I stayed at a hotel that was having a swingers convention when I was performing in Missouri.
And how well did you perform?
The show was fun,
Oh,
but then afterwards, me and the
performance anxiety.
headliner like went back to the hotel, and we were kind of like, do you want? They invited us. They're like, hey, we're cool with you guys staying at the hotel because they're gonna move us to another hotel. And then like the organizer's like, we're cool if you guys are cool. And we're like, I'm fine with it. I don't care. And the headliner was Theo Vaughn, and he's like, I think this is wild and very interesting. So we did like a lap around the conference room, and we're like, yeah, this is not what we want it to be.
Right.
So we just kind of went our own way. But,
Double checking your sneaker color to make sure that you didn't wear the wrong one.
but there was, there is a whole different world that goes along with that, where people do have their levels.
Well, then I guess it's good that white is for novices because you don't know the colors. Yellow is for people who want to have fun but are still a little nervous. Black is full swap. People who go, whatever the hell happens, I'm down for
I
it.
want to get down.
Give me
Yeah.
your partner.
And then teal is bisexual. So anyway, that
So wait,
is-
what if you're more than one? You have a teal one if you're bisexual, but also a black one if you love a full swap.
It's all decorated.
And a
You gotta
pink
keep
if
it
you like to watch.
You're gonna
You
get so
gotta go
clean with all these loofahs.
fully and
I
So
think
clean.
some of them cover all those bases.
Well, maybe, yeah.
If you're doing full swap black, I think that's
I'm every and
yeah.
anything. Yeah.
Whatever's happening is happening. I'm in it.
I was going to say black would cover everything, right?
I guess.
Yeah. You wouldn't need to just be out there and having fun. I got another $1,000 for you. Listen for that next keyword coming up at 4:30. Want to go fund yourself. You get an opportunity to do that. If you're on hold, I'll get you on the way back. If you want to text 35192, and we'll be back.
The Alan Cox Show.
On our free iHeartRadio app and your favorite smart device. Just tell it to play The Alan Cox Show